Hello, we're gonna be talking about our opinions on the new Battlefield 4 trailer. I'm not alone, I'm here with my friend Acorn to say hello.
Hello.
Alright, there's really nothing else to do. Let's just start watching. So, already, what do you think of the new player count? 128 players.
128. I mean, it's a lot. It's gonna be chaotic, but the maps are big enough that it's gonna.
But you think that's kind of the fun with Battlefield, don't you think? The whole.
Oh, I love chaos.
Yeah, the whole chaos. I'm probably gonna bring up too. They're gonna have to completely rebalance vehicles. I say honestly, the tanks in this game are gonna need to be stronger than Battlefield 1 tanks. Cause just think, you're gonna have double the amount of anti-tank soldiers to deal with now.
I think there's a bit more in the trailer that we can go on about that when we get there.
So,
Now,
something I noticed, let me see if I can get it back a bit. It's quick. Oh, that ain't it. So, what do you think how... It seems like they increased the ammo count you get right away.
right. Which makes sense because you got a full vest of mags.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I think no one enjoyed what, 5 did, where you got like 3 mags and they just said have fun. Where it really punished you for spray and praying. Oh, so we just saw the grappling hook. I think that's a smart idea, because you gotta think, these maps are gonna be so much bigger, you're gonna need something to explore the terrain a bit easier if you don't got a vehicle on standby.
And it's also gonna like reduce the amount of times that people are just gonna spawn in jets or helicopters just to get on top of buildings, which was kind of annoying. That you had to do that. A lot more upward mobility and gonna make a lot more of the map accessible. Not just with the. Well, I would like to say full disclosure. I only played the open beta of Battlefield 5. I didn't like it, so I didn't buy it.
Just speaking of forward terms, with a lot of people camping rooftops, I think that's gonna also really help get rid of rooftop campers. Also, you gotta enjoy that one dude's name, Floppy Ragdoll, the squad leader.
Fantastic.
Oh, I also gotta think, I kinda wish squads was bigger. Only 4 people, 128 players, giant maps. Now, I kinda hope they brought the 5 system back, or even 6.
Yeah.
Attention all squads. The Russian troops are falling back.
Yeah, you even see right there, he has a shit ton of ammo.
Yep. Ready to mow down a couple of squads.
Which is gonna be nice. Oh, what do you think of that, by the way? How it showed a missile lock system, so where that missile's gonna fire before you even shoot it.
Well, go back to it a second.
See how it's already locking on?
Yeah, it was a bit of a just like a futuristic or like updated version of what they had in Battlefield 4, and I didn't play 3, so I don't know if it was in that, but I believe it was. It just seems like a more advanced user interface version of the good old diamond around the guy you're shooting at.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, notice how it's actually out of the crosshair, so it is a lock-on missile going after him. I don't think Helis really had that info, or you didn't really know what target it was gonna hit unless you lined up the shot perfectly.
Right. Well, there's always a little bit of leeway when you're locking on a guided missile in a video game or in real life. I know the laser guided, especially on the Little Bird that I used a lot. It has a pretty good like loose zone where you can put over the target
and
it will start painting. Yeah.
Nice.
I really like the flare effects.
Oh, I just saw that. So, hold on. The guy brought up a sniper. So, on my wish list, I said sniper shouldn't be 4 weak, but they should be 5 powerful. I may retract that just because it is confirmed. Likely double the map size.
Right.
And player base, so those snipers are definitely going to have to be extremely quick bullet velocity.
Yes, realistic bullet velocity, preferably, like the actual velocity of the bullets in real life. If it's not a fictional cartridge, which I don't believe it will be because it's only 21 years in the future, and well, we're kind of using 40-year-old tech right now, so not too much of a stretch to think that the prototypes we have now is going to be still being used in 20 years.
Imagine they pull like a Ghost Recon and add a no-drop bullet. Because I think, not Ghost Recon, Sniper Warrior, where they have a bullet that just negates. Oh, that'd be stupid. Yeah, who needs gravity?
that would be a big no skill round, and people who use it, if it exists, should be berated.
Exactly. We already talked about that.
Right. Another thing with the snipers, there's going to be a lot more access to transport vehicles. So you're definitely going to need to get your aim zeroed in on fast-moving targets.
I just realized he has the revolver, so far we got half of the cowboy load up.
That's good.
It's interesting how he has irons, though, out of all the things.
Well, they also show later in the trailer how you can just change your optic.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
We'll get there.
That looks amazing, by the way. I hope that's not the dust storm.
The dust storm?
Yeah, I generally hope that's not a frame killer.
Yeah, me too. Also, if you noticed on the transport, the amount of passenger seats available in it.
Yeah, one thing I do like, it's this on the top of C1. It actually shows 11-1, so you now actually know how many enemies are in there. I just realized there's not double the objectives. It's only A through E.
Well, they're actually doing a sector system. So this is why it says C1. There's going to be different sectors, and because the maps are going to be so much bigger, so if you control the majority of objectives in a sector, you control the sector, and then that drains the enemy's tickets instead of just the points individually.
One thing I'm happy. Look at the vehicle ammo. There's no more resupply points for vehicles.
Yeah, no more resupply, which also means you can't just
camp them.
Absolutely spam the crap out of your rounds. You actually got to wait for more, which kind of makes sense. I mean, like the infinite, of course, doesn't make realistic sense. This is a Battlefield game. We don't care about that. But you got to move your ammo to your first stage ammo stowage so that you can actually load it faster.
Well, one thing too that was an issue with just the limited ammo like 5 had is people would just camp the vehicle supply points because they were always fixed in certain locations.
Right.
And typically injured vehicles would go there too because that it was the only way to like get your vehicle decently repaired as well. So you would just have like 3 anti-tank soldiers just camping there that have landmines everywhere. I also find it funny how they're still using smooth bore for a tank.
I mean, like, what else are you gonna use?
There's rifle tank rounds.
Right, there's rifle tank rounds, but they switched to smooth bore from rifled for a reason.
Wasn't it for cheaper production?
I think it's actually it's that. I know that you can't launch ATGMs out of a rifled barrel because a lot of Russian vehicles, especially, can fire ATGMs out of their tank barrels.
I did not know that. I thought that was always a separate system.
Well, some vehicles it is a separate system. I know some of the MBTs can fire ATGMs out of the barrel as well.
Also, look at the vehicle to the left with the armory on top of it. I can't tell if that's just supposed to be a 50 cal or what. That looks pretty damn beefy.
The transport vehicle?
I think that's what it is. It's hard to say.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of in the darkened edges.
Yeah. Good shot on him.
Definitely love the UI.
Oh, let's hope driving vehicles much more clean than 4.
Yeah, well, of course it's gonna be much smoother than 4.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like the feel of 4, but with the silky smoothness of the Frostbite 2 engine.
Well, I know what happened with 1 and 4 a lot. I'm not sure about 5. Barely played it because I didn't like it. Was the geometry of the map would just screw with your vehicle so much. So it was hard to, like, kind of haul ass across it without hitting something and then getting immediately blown up by a tank.
Yeah, there's a little bit in the trailer later I'll point out to you.
That looked
this
pretty
bit
cool.
right here, as you can see, the tank was rolling over the car, no problem, not getting stuck on any of the issues.
That also looks like a F-35. He's looking.
It does.
Stop! Watch out!
I can't wait for this feature. I'm gonna be interested how jets and helicopters react to a tornado.
Of course you're gonna love this feature, you're from the Midwest.
Exactly. And I was bringing it up with my stepdad. I'm like, just imagine all-out battle, and then a fucking tornado shows up. Like, what would you do? Are you just gonna run, or are you just gonna say screw it and just begin shooting at the enemy again?
Well, I'm pretty sure that, like, at least half the players, the first time they see this, they're just gonna stop fighting and just watch it.
Oh, definitely. I can't wait, because I know it's going to happen for some sniper to get in the tornado, and while he's spinning around in it, assuming it's not just an insta-kill you get when you get into it, just hit some fucking no-scope headshot on some guy.
There might be a kill zone in the in like the center of the tornado, but I know that later in the trailer it shows.
Yeah, I kind of hope
people flying around.
Yeah, rip that heli though.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
Oh, that little bird somehow, well, almost made it.
Almost, not quite.
Almost.
So this is the.
Yeah, I know, but what do you think of this? Because I've seen a decent amount of people that hate this type of system. Like, they're really unsure about it. Also, it's nice you got the Chris Vector. I'm pretty sure I added that weapon to the...
Yeah, that weapon was on your wish list. I don't know. I feel like the mag switch... well, I don't know the downsides of the larger magazines, but I don't understand why you wouldn't have that all the time. Optic switch seems interesting, but it would make... I'm not sure how they're going to do it because I haven't played it because it's not out. But if you select the optics that you'll be able to switch between during the fight, that would make some sense. So that it's kind of like a canted sight, except it takes some time to switch between them. And changing the grip, especially if it's like a folding grip, being able to extend it or retract it, that makes some sense. I think that, I don't know. It depends on execution for me.
Yeah. I think another. Some people think this is like the max customization on a gun. I don't think so. I just think they restricted it because imagine having this system and then having like 30 attachments on each side. You're not gonna have a good time with it. You're gonna get lost on what you want.
You're gonna be fiddling with the UI and get stabbed in the back.
Yeah, I wonder. They probably made sure you can't do this, but I hope you can't exploit this, because imagine you're using an LMG and instead of just reloading, you just get super good at hot swapping this thing and just swap a mag, and then boom.
Well, I think it does show in the next few seconds that when he does switch the mag, he has to change everything out.
Yeah, let me see. No, it just pops in the gun.
Oh, yeah, it does. Well,
But
hopefully they change that.
Granted, his gun did go down, so maybe that was supposed to be the countermeasure. But still, that could be so much quicker than reloading an LMG. Cause I think for an M60 with empty mag is almost like an 8-second reload.
Yeah. Well, that also assumes that you'll be able to, because there's definitely going to be certain LMGs that you can change between belt and magazine if they're designed to feed off either. But some of them require like a full conversion in order to feed from a mag or a belt.
That's true. The only one I can think is the M29, the one SMA, the one that the U.S. currently uses.
The
SAW.
The 249?
Yeah, 249. I know that has like a 60 map. Heard that thing is super unreliable though in actual combat. Like it jams constantly. Fun fact,
you gotta run belts on that.
This dude has a 3x scope on the revolver.
Oh yeah, he does. Well, assuming it's 3 times, it could be more or less, but it's still a scope.
Yeah. This is just cool. I don't think that's not gonna happen for a long time though.
Yeah, and it's definitely not going to happen with the helicopter level. It would be dropping it down because the players are Bluetooth. That's an interesting looking helicopter.
Yeah.
With the 2 independent guns.
Oh, and it seems like the normal revive system's back, just with the little heart monitor on the guy.
Oh yeah.
So that's nice. That's nice. You know, no having constant screaming and agony in your ear.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be a bonus.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a turnoff for me on the open beta of Battlefield 5. So I'm glad they're switching back.
Yeah,
at least
same.
It seems like they're switching back.
I like the wingsuit again. That's just gonna help terrain the giant maps so much more. Do you know there's gonna be some people taking the most memey cards and just going headfirst into the tornado?
Oh, absolutely.
So, do you think... Oh, no. Shit. Where was I? I was trying to pause it. Okay, we were about here. So, do you think the wingsuit's gonna be a specialist item or whatever they have? Or do you think you get to choose, like, in the spawn menu?
I'm pretty sure the wingsuit is a specialist. If we go back to the specialist,
I guess
where the person diving off with the go back to the tower scene where they're jumping off.
Okay. Yeah, here he is. Granted, he does look different.
Maybe it's not
other. Well, he does look different than other soldiers.
Right. It does have a different appearance, but maybe that's a no, it's probably a specialist thing.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the loadout bar, and I saw that on some of the other specialists they had their special gadget in the bar, and that does not seem like a wingsuit icon on there at all.
Yeah, he looks like he has some other thing. I can't even tell what they are because they're all like really phone looking and all that.
Yeah. You have rectangle number 1, rectangle number 2, and rectangle number 3.
Yes.
And
so
it's definitely not an instant kill to be in its influence, but there's a bit of a threat of crashing into flying debris.
That's true. I mean, that's what's deadly about a real tornado.
Right, it's not the wind that kills you.
Yeah, no, it's the debris. It's slingshotting at you at a few hundred miles an hour. And obviously, if you get sucked into the tornado, it's how far it's going to launch your ass.
Right.
I like the UI. It's very clean looking.
It is very clean, and because we're going back to where we're going to the future, or the near future, it's got that look where it could be a UI or a heads-up display in like some sort of futuristic goggles helmet thing.
So, all in all, what do you think?
I'm excited for the open beta, assuming they're gonna have one, and assuming that it goes the way I think it does, I'm definitely gonna be buying the game. However, avoiding pre-purchase.
I am too, because admittedly, that is just so much stuff you have to troubleshoot. But granted, gotta remember, DICE killed every other game they were working on. Like, when Battlefront was finally gaining a player base, they pulled the plug on it. Battlefield 5 pulled the plug. Just everything. They had all mans on deck. This is either gonna be the make it or break it game.
Yeah. Shoot, I forgot. It really is going to be the make it or break it game. You can't really have 2 in a row in a big franchise like this and just like
Well, you can
keep crawling back for more.
Oh, in this, you gotta think, this is DICE and they're with EA, so EA's breathing down the neck. They had Hardline flat, that wasn't really DICE, but it kind of still stained their record, oddly enough, just because it was a Battlefield game. You had Battlefront 1, then 5, and then Battlefront 2. That's the only good one that came out was 1, but unfortunately that died of a player base quickly because weapon content wasn't really there, and I swear, it took them like a year to make In the Name of the Tsar expansion.
Yeah, I played it after the fact, when all the DLC had already been released, and I had a good time with it.
Yeah, now it's full of content.
Right. Which, like, having a setting of World War I, you don't have a ton of options for weapons to add, so you're really scraping every scrap of a prototype you can just to get some content for your game, which is probably why a AAA title hasn't been set in World War I, but they definitely did it very well.
They did. What do you think the weapons are gonna be like percentage on mixed up and real? I'm gonna say 20% of the weapons are gonna be made up or maybe modern day prototypes. That'd be kind of cool actually to see a modern day prototype, just because we only see like old timey. Like
right, I think
a good one would be can't remember. They had it on Forgotten Weapons. It was that one LMG that had like no recoil, like Armalite or something. Like Armory. I can't remember the name of it.
I know there's the Stoner 63 that he sings the praises of a ton, but that's not like a prototype. That was
a real thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think all in all, we're both excited. Just a tiny bit hesitant, but obviously we're both thinking more it's going to be on the good side.
Cautiously hyped as hell.
Yes, good way to put it. Anyways, thank you, Acorn. I think that summed up our thoughts. We're going to head off now.